Jim Schultz here for Calculated Risk, and don't forget, before we get started, the best ways you can help us are by liking the video or subscribing to the channel. Either one of those guys really helps us out a lot. So we are volatility traders. Some traders like to trade direction. We like to trade kind of non-direction. Trading time and trading volatility. Specifically, with volatility, we want to tap into things like volatility mean reversion. We want to tap into things like, volatility's overstatement when you start thinking about implied volatility relative to realized volatility. And one of the metrics that we use to capture all of this, probably more than any other, is implied volatility rank, or IVR, because more IVR means more opportunity, and less IVR means less opportunity. And today, I want to unpack exactly why that is. So if you've been around the channel, inside the Tasty ecosystem for any length of time, volatility is at the center of what we do. It is a big part of what we are doing on a daily basis in terms of monitoring the market and monitoring our portfolios. This is arguably the metric that we are looking at more than any other, because volatility is always expanding. Volatility is always contracting. Volatility is clustering. It's moving around, and we want to know, when does a given movement in volatility, when does a given kind of signal in a metric signal to us that there might be opportunity in the marketplace? And so I think that implied volatility rank, or IVR, does exactly that. And of course, a quick refresher, just in case you are brand new to trading or brand new to Tasty or brand new to IVR, either one of those would apply. Implied volatility rank is essentially measuring where is current implied volatility relative to itself over the previous 12 months. And the best way to understand the metric is it's just like a standardized test. It's like the SAT, it's like the ACT. If you see an IVR that's 75, that means current implied volatility is in the 75th percentile. It is higher than 75% of all the previous implied volatilities over those last 12 months. If IVR is 20, now it's only higher than 20% of the previous implied volatilities over those last 12 months. Okay, easy enough. But why then does higher implied volatility rank mean higher opportunity? Well, I'm going to give you 3 reasons. Number 1, a higher implied volatility rank is telling me that because volatility for that stock or that index is kind of on the higher end of its range, then the tendency for volatility to mean revert is much, much higher. The likelihood that it could mean revert is much, much higher than if volatility was in the middle part of its range. So when volatility gets stretched and it expands, there is tremendous pressure on that volatility to move back down lower. So that's the first reason why higher implied volatility ranks means higher opportunity. But then also number 2, and this is kind of a continuation off of number 1, so maybe this is more of a 1A, 1B type of situation rather than a true number 1 and number 2. But volatility just generally wants to contract. So just generally on any given day, volatility wants to move down lower. It wants to grind down lower. It wants to contract over time. So if I wait kind of patiently for volatility to expand, and then I sell premium, and then I sell volatility, I'm kind of putting, more advantages in my favor, if you will, in terms of being able to benefit from when the volatility does contract back down and do what it naturally wants to do, which is grind back down lower. And third, higher implied volatility rank means higher raw implied volatility. Now, the raw implied volatility, this is what determines the option prices. This is effectively the thing that is overstated over time based on the empirical results that we've studied for many, many, many years now. When you look at implied volatility versus realized volatility, what we find on average is implied volatilities are greater than realized volatility. Now, what does that mean to us lay people? What does that mean to us commoners? That simply means that options are priced based off of implied volatility, but that's actually a little bit too high relative to the volatility that they normally experience over whatever time frame you're looking at. 20 days, 30 days, 50 days, whatever. The way I like to say it is the oranges are a little bit too juicy. The oranges have a little bit too much juice in them. And so if I'm taking advantage of a higher implied volatility rank, I'm naturally taking advantage of a higher raw implied volatility too. And so I'm taking advantage of an orange that is way juicier than it actually should be. And that benefits me as an option seller. Okay, that's all well and good, but now what constitutes a high implied volatility rank? Well, generally speaking, the cutoff point is around 30, which may not feel that high, especially when you think about the fact that it's like a distribution, it's like a standardized test score. That certainly feels like it's on the lower end of the range, but over the last 10 or 15 or 20 years, volatility has been naturally suppressed. It has been living on the lower end of its range a bit more regularly, just from day to day or week to week or month to month. So anytime volatility, or implied volatility rank, I should say, might poke its head up above 30, that looks like a pretty good opportunity and a pretty good time to sell relatively high volatility. And of course, if it's even higher than that, 40, 50, 60, 70, what have you, that's potentially even more opportunity. Just be careful. A lot of times those really high implied volatility ranks are associated with a binary event. So maybe an earnings date, maybe an FOMC meeting, maybe that notorious Spanish durable goods print that gets us every time. You got to be on the lookout for these guys, because a lot of times that's the thing that's happening underneath the hood. I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys next time.